Okay. I don't see a thumbnail. Hmm.
Watch. Good evening,
Okay.
friends, and welcome to another Fireside Chat. I got a special guest in the house. This is Karen Cole from Legal Minded Friends. Hold on, we're going to wait for our friends to just come in little by little, and we'll continue on then from there.
Okay. I don't see you on YouTube.
Hey, Tracy, what's up? Good to see you. You're the
Oh,
first one in the house. Woohoo, here she goes. Here we go.
okay. Wait. How did you
Good to
get?
see you.
How come I can't get videos? How come I can't see it?
Karen, you are
Hmm.
live, Karen, right now. I could see your screen and everything.
Oh, I see the chats on the screen.
There
But
you go. Hello, Fuzzy
oh,
Doxy. Good to see you, my friend. Wendy's in the house. Yes, ladies and
hello.
gentlemen, we got another fireside chat with our special guest, Karen Cole from Legal Minded Friends. She's in the house. Hello, Karen. How you doing? Welcome
I'm
in.
fine. How are you?
Hello,
How are you?
Kathy. Eileen. Good to see you. Dawn
I'm
Marie,
trying
my
to.
sis. Good to see you, Dawn.
That is so strange because I can see you on my phone, but I can't see you on YouTube. Is it
Well,
probably
because it's
because I'm on my YouTube?
right. That's
Anyway.
right. That's probably
Uh,
what it is.
oh, okay.
Hi, Eileen.
So
Good to see you.
so I've set up the screen pointing to my TV because I was watching a movie and, in my pajamas.
Hi, Tenzi. Good to see you. Hope everyone had a great Thanksgiving. Yeah, we're gonna get started in another minute. We're just waiting for our friends to pop in. Do me a favor, hit the thumbs up, share it if you'd like, and welcome in, everybody. Welcome in to another fireside chat. Every week, guys, ladies and gentlemen, every week I'm gonna have a new guest on. Last week we had Brother Duty Ron, he was on. Now I have legal minded friends, Karen Cole, and then each week I'll invite more and more people to come in if you'd like to come in. And not just content creators, I'll also invite viewers if you like. You want to come in, you don't have to show your face. You come in, you want to have a conversation. I would love for you guys to join my live stream. Mac Retired 911, good to see you. Welcome in. Hello, Cheryl. Thanks for coming in.
Hello, Aline. Hello, Aline. Um, yeah, so this is quite cool, this, YouTube sharing,
Yeah, there you go.
and there's no delay like there is on StreamYard.
No, it's direct. It's very fast. It's direct. We have all our friends popping in right now, one by one, and it's working really fine. So, guys, I want to
Yeah.
ask you something. So, if you could hear, if the audio is good and my video is good, put a one in the chat. That's the first thing before we get started.
All sounds good to
Dawn
me.
Marie says, I'm decorating for Christmas tree. I'll be listening. No problem. Sis, enjoy, do the holiday stuff. Absolutely. Hello, Mel. Good to see you, Mel Stiller. Yes, we have Karen Cole, our good friend Karen Cole from Legal Minded Friends in the house. We're going to go over a lot of different topics tonight about Karen Cole, about her channel. We're also going to discuss, the past holiday, the future holidays, what's going to be, what Karen's going to do on her channel, what I'm going to be doing on my channel. And like I says, if you're in, thank you very much for all the ones. Everything sounds good. Everything's great. Welcome in, everybody. Welcome in. So, Karen, how's the weather out there today?
Oh,
Is
what
it
was
cold?
it? It is 13, so it's quite cold. I've had to wear hats when I go out, that's for
So,
sure.
so, Karen, it's not as cold as my weather right now. It is 3 degrees Celsius here in New York. It's 33.5 degrees Fahrenheit. It is very cold, guys. So I got the heat going. I got my fire going, which is really cool, right? And you
That's
guys
what
can
mine
relax, and
says,
we can have 13 Celsius. Yeah, it's cold. It's not that
covered up
bad though.
wearing.
It's yeah. Yeah. Hello,
So,
Lexi. Welcome in. Tracy says it's snowing here right now. Yeah, I believe it. I believe it. A lot of upstate New York, they got some in lake effect snow up by the Albany region. They're talking about a foot of snow up there. So yes. So Karen,
hey,
let's talk
Lexi,
about yeah. So it
let's
is cold
let's
by you. So
Yeah.
in
It
in
was
uh
it was below 1 the other day, and it was snowing, but then it stopped. It melted as it as it came, it melted quite quickly.
right,
Hi,
right.
Lexi. Hi, Lexi. I texted Lexi to let her know.
Yeah, so all our friends are coming in. Lexi, Beamer, they're great. It's cold for my area, 42 right now. Retired 911. Yeah. Doc
Whoa,
Willow, good
that's
to see you. Welcome in. Elise is in the house. Yes, another fire chat. Absolutely. So what I'm doing, guys, is that every week I will be doing I'll be inviting another content creator. First, I'm going to do all the content creators, all my friends that, always say, hey, make sure you subscribe to them, come in. I'm going to invite one by one. And then when I'm done with that, I'm going to invite you guys. I'm going to invite, if you guys want to be, in my live stream for the fireside chat, do me a favor, just go to my email, Joeybklyn13 at AOL.com, and I will send you the link and you can come aboard and we could, you know, you'll be a guest. It's great to
cool.
have you. Hello, Doc Willow. So, Karen, tell me, so how did you exactly start on social media, with live streaming? You know,
Yeah,
bring us to the beginning points of when you first
beginning
started
point.
live streaming. Go ahead.
Well, I've kind of tried to be creative here, and I've got my TV on, so you can see my channel. And whoops, went too far. So yeah, so I started I started on YouTube because it was during lockdown, and I provide legal help for people going to court, right? So I'm a
Right,
lawyer in the UK. And what I found is I was getting a lot of the same questions from people.
right,
So I thought I'd had this great idea if I started a channel and I would do 1 minute. I don't know if I can show you on there, but I decided to do 1 minute, um, uh, like YouTube,
videos.
right? Like
1 minute videos on YouTube, right?
yeah, 1 minute videos. So
Right,
how do you find that? Um, so anyway, yeah, I started that and I started doing the 1 minute videos. And then my daughter says, Mom, you can change your screen instead of having it all just like straight up and down. I was trying to think, how do you get there? See, we don't even know YouTube. This is terrible. Um, so yeah, so I don't know
thank you,
how do you
Regina. Go ahead. Lou G's in the house. Go ahead.
so yeah, so I started doing YouTube like that. I was trying to get to one of my very um beginning YouTube. But anyway, it was all vertical and I thought I would do like 1 minute legal answer a question in 1 minute, right?
Right, right.
And then I thought, wow, that's really hard to do from a legal point of view because first of all, the question could be 1 minute. So,
Yeah, the question could be a minute, 2 minutes, and then the response could be 10 minutes.
ah,
Yeah, I know.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So
Hi,
I
Sister
thought,
Carol Ann. Go ahead.
yeah, so I thought, oh, isn't there a way you can get to YouTube to find it? This is funny. I don't even know how to navigate YouTube. Um, so anyway, yeah, so then that's when, and I was trying to find one because I was putting the camera right up to my face. Like it was hilarious, right?
Right,
And my daughter was saying, "Oh, Mom, you don't have to put the camera right up to your face and you can pre-record, you don't have to do it live." And so then I started learning all this stuff, right?
right,
And that's when I thought, "Oh, yeah, okay." So at first I was like, I thought, well, I'll do one on divorces because I do a lot of family law as well. I do all civil litigation, I do some criminal law and like employment stuff. Um,
right.
you know, um, so I
So if
thought,
you had,
well,
if you, I'm sorry, Karen, if you had to pick one topic that you
yeah,
really help many people with, what type of law would you say more? Would it be family law, criminal law? Would it be litigation? What would it be
yeah,
for
well,
you?
litigation is just going to court, right? So we're
Right,
litigating in court. So we're making an application to the court. Um, And so if obviously if you get charged by the police, then you're being taken to court and then you need somebody to, defend you, obviously. And then, but then when I was doing civil litigation for the government, I was taking people to court for the government. So I was representing the local council in
Right.
42 different departments. So you can imagine, I was just talking to a friend today and we were talking about, she was a prosecutor, and we were talking about how we had such due diligence, right? And we didn't want to take anybody to court that it wasn't absolutely necessary. Like it was our absolute last, you know,
Resort.
last,
Right.
yeah. But obviously with criminal law, that depends on what the person's done. But we still try to work with prosecutors to see if we can get a plea deal, see if we can, get somebody to say, well, look, I'll take a lesser charge. And then if they do that, then they get a one-third off in England. So try to
Right.
give the benefits of doing that. And a lot of times, like what people don't realize is they may not think they're guilty of a crime, but they could be guilty of breaking the law, which is what I try to explain them. Well, this is the law. And I remember one of my first cases when I first started Legal Minded Friends. There was a chap that was charged with going, when a train is coming
Yeah. Sure.
and you've got those, that board that comes down and, those lights, what are they called? The caution lights, when they come down.
Yeah.
So he sped by them to miss it, right?
Right.
So he could get by before the train. So he was charged. And I said, well, did you do it? Well, he said he did it, but what happened was he thought if he slammed on his brakes, the person behind him would slam into him. So that's why
Oh,
he yeah, so that's why he did it. So I said, "Well,
conniver.
tech
Yeah.
yeah, technically you're guilty, right? You've
Of
you've
course.
broken the
If
law,
you're from behind, yes, exactly.
but you've got a reason, so we can try to mitigate." So that's
Right.
what we try to do with the criminal law, right? And with families, civil law, employment law, and all that, we try to negotiate so that when we do go to court, we have everything all set up, right?
Right.
So that either the court can just rubber stamp it, or so we do a lot of talking before we go to court, and then it's only when we can't come to a negotiation that we ask the judge to decide. So yeah, that's Legal Minded Friends, and I was not made retired. I guess I aged into retirement. So it's funny, Joey. I was looking at my pension. You get a paycheck every month, right?
Right.
When you're and it says, when you look at it, it says um, occupation. It says pensioner.
Pensioner. I'm a pensioner too.
Yeah.
Let me
So
just say
I'm a
hello to a few of our friends. 1 second.
yeah.
Retired Irish detective. Good to see you. Welcome in. Barbara George is in the house. Sister Carol Ann Clark. Thanks for coming in. Uh, we have a good friend, our dear friend, legal minded friends, Karen Cole. Every week I'm going to do these live. I'll be inviting my content creator friends first, and then I will invite anybody who wants to come aboard. Reach out to me at joeybrooklyn13.com, and we could have, fireside chat interviews. And I just love doing this because I get to hang out with my friends over here. Lou G, nothing for nothing, and the fire is outstanding. Lou G, hope
Yeah.
everyone had a great Thanksgiving to all my American friends, and to my Canadian friends. They had Thanksgiving last month, I believe, right? Last week? No, 2 weeks ago, or 3 weeks ago. They had their Thanksgiving. And now the
Hey, do you know
holidays
what
are
I
coming up. Yeah. Go ahead,
okay,
Karen.
let me mention this. This is a good video, this one. This
Go
deja
ahead.
vu one, okay? I made it. Oh, whoops. Oh, they get commercials. Oops. Okay, so that one there in the middle there, it says deja vu. Well, I've used a couple of clips from Duty Ron, so I hope people check that out and see. But look what we can do. We could have I could put your channel on and we could have dual fires.
Oh, we can. That's right.
Okay, let me see if I can do that. So search.
You might get
So
an echo. So if you get the echo, if we hear the echo, then you got to take it off. We'll see what happens.
no, I
Oh,
haven't. I won't put it on, right? I'll
yeah.
just put on.
Hi, Mystique.
Oh, wait, do I have to clear it? Oh, this is, I mean, a woman with a remote control, it's just not on, is it really?
Oh, that feels good, that fire, man. Let me tell you, it's cold here, guys. It's 33 degrees, no, 34 degrees
Oop,
Fahrenheit, almost freezing. It's 3 degrees Celsius. It's cold, but I got the heat. There we go.
there,
There's my channel.
there, now. Oh, you got my
Got the
picture.
Java going. Yeah.
Hey, you're getting a commercial.
So
Do it. I can't speed through it, can I?
no, you can't. You have to click on it when it says you could click on it.
Yeah. Okay, so just a second. It's interesting because we get different commercials than you. Did you know that?
Yeah, what's going on here? I believe the advertiser of the what?
Previous has my best interest. Yeah, so if I agree, strongly agree. Oh, what was that commercial? I didn't even see it.
Oh,
So
it was
when
a
we get a commercial,
JBL commercial. JBL
yeah, so I'll
speaker.
say strongly agree and that now there. Oh, that looks cool.
Oh, look at that. Slight slight delay, slight delay.
Now
Yeah.
that's weird. Now how come the thing is showing the chat? Or did you show that?
No, I could see the chat on my phone right now as I could read everyone that I could read the chat. I could see you, Karen. I could see my fire.
Okay,
Everything is
so
here.
on mine, it shows some gray thing. What is that? What and I switched to the other. That is weird. That is weird. Do you see what can you
I could
on
see
my
with yes, I could see exactly.
side? Do you see on my side it shows your fire, it shows your cup, and it shows the chat on my side of the screen on YouTube. Isn't that cool? Do you see
Yeah,
what I
no, you
mean? It's
yes, I do.
changed it. It's changed it
Dave
because
Jeffrey, welcome.
if I go out of it, oops, if I go out of it, yeah, that's weird. So it's that's weird. Oh, maybe because I'm trying to figure out why.
Hi, Beamer.
So yeah, so you can see everybody's chat on there. That's pretty cool, isn't it?
Yeah, no, it's nice. It's cool, very cool.
It looks cool because if I go back to YouTube, you won't see the chat.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
Karen, Mary of London, good to see you, my friend from the UK.
So do you guys want
Happy
me to
day.
leave it on there, put a 1 in the chat, or I'll go back to my channel and just leave it boring? But that looks quite cool because you can see everybody on the chat.
It's
Thumbs up.
whatever.
Looks cool like that, doesn't it?
It's fine. It's fine. So Karen, let me
Oh.
ask you a question. How do you, if you're doing a comparison from American, because you've been watching Duty Ron and other true crime channels, with the
Yeah.
law and everything. How would you compare the legal system in the UK comparative to the American legal system?
Well, what I find interesting is because you guys have all different states, right? Each
Right.
state has their own laws.
Yes.
And we obviously in the UK, Scotland will have a different law to us. And we have like we we have mostly all our laws are like the law I practice in is just England and Wales, right? That's it.
Right.
Everybody
Yes.
else has their own type of law. But then there's some laws that are like made for the UK, right? For the United Kingdom. And I find that is different with you guys. So, and you you have different, like
Well,
you
each
guys
state,
can't
each
practice
yeah.
in each state. You have to
So yeah. So
get a
there's
license or something.
every state in America. There's 50 states in America. Each state in America has its own laws,
Yeah,
statewide, and then we have local laws. We have so there's two
yeah,
different kind of laws at each state, right?
yeah,
And then you have federal law. You have federal.
yeah,
So a lot of federal law trumps, no pun intended, trumps local
yeah,
law or state law.
yeah,
So
yeah.
it's quite interesting. That's
Yeah,
our
we have
federal
very,
laws
very
versus
much
state laws.
this.
Yes,
Yeah,
retired
we
Irish
have
detective.
a bit of the same thing from that point of view, right? Like anything that's constitutional, like that's a legal right that would so you have competing rights, yeah.
Right.
So
Yes.
Um, and each locality, so when I worked for the county solicitor, so do you remember Murdoch when he was county solicitor? I would have worked for somebody like that.
Right.
And I was in charge of all the debts that came into the 42 different departments that are within the county. So each city, that's like they're in a county, aren't they?
Right.
And you guys
Right.
have
Exactly.
counties as well too, don't you?
Yeah, we have yeah, counties, we have counties, we have local laws like villages. Like I
Yeah,
live in Long okay,
same.
I'll give you an example. So you have New York State law. I'll speak about New York State for a minute.
Yeah,
So New York State has its own laws, right? Now when we
yeah,
say New York State, we're talking outside of the five boroughs of New York City. So in other words,
right,
the five boroughs of New York City have their own local laws versus the
right.
state laws. But the state and local are one, but they're different. You understand? So in other words, each locality has its own laws basically, and of course there are federal laws. Here's a
Yeah,
good scenario. So just to throw it out there. So like if we talk about marijuana, for instance, just
yeah,
say just just for verbatim sake, the federal law says that marijuana is illegal, let's say, right?
right.
But state law says it is legal in that state. Technically, you could have, you could have a federal case against you, and the government can actually come after you for that marijuana charge. They can actually charge you for that. Versus
Yeah,
so if it's a local crime, they're not going to come after you if they caught you with marijuana. Just for an example, you understand?
yeah, yeah. Yeah, well, we have the same. We have, if it's, let's say, a lower crime, that's in the magistrate's court, and then if the magistrate's court can't handle it, it needs to be moved up to the Crown Court, right? Depending on,
Right.
what sentencing is and stuff like
Thank you,
that.
Dennis.
So we have the different jurisdictions of the court, and so sometimes the court will say, a defendant might say, "Oh, this is the wrong jurisdiction," or something. They might try to argue that, right? Like
Yeah,
there's
don't mind
different.
me. I'm just warming up my hands over here. Ah, it
Oh,
feels good.
and I'm not. I'm laying on my couch in my pajamas, all nice and warm. I said, "You see now, Joey, I've given you an idea. You can point your camera to the TV, and keep nice and warm in the house."
Oh, it feels good. It really feels
Yeah,
good.
yeah. So I
All right,
think
let's go back to the chat.
I've done I've helped a few people around the world with different legal issues, right? And
Right,
it's literally just interpreting their laws, right? And and then going through the procedures with that. And usually, if it's, I just find like we've simplified a lot of stuff in the UK, so we don't tend to use a lot of the Latin terminology,
right, right.
Um,
Hey,
so,
Nabol, good to see you, brother.
how do you think about how we stream our trials? Oh, yes. So, we don't, we can log into streaming trials to watch them, right? However, we can't share them. We have to have permission to share them. And all of our family courts and stuff like that, all of that is called private, right? So it's not public. So we're not allowed to share them. They
Right,
just made a ruling, I think it was last year, that if there is a financial case, a divorce, let's say a financial case, and you want to share that outcome, then you still just have to have permission. And then what we get is something from the court that is a redacted version of,
r-
and so some of the cases that I've gone through on my channel that are British, I've just gone and gotten the one that the courts say is for public consumption, basically, right?
so Mel Stiller says in Canada we have municipal, provincial, and federal laws. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
very
yeah. So
similar.
yeah, and that's where I was in Canada for like before I came to England. So I did I was in I did a lot of, well, I started in family law, and then I went to criminal law with a couple of different solicitors.
Right.
mostly doing stuff like researching case law, right? So
Yes.
I trained under a Queen's Counsel at the time, which now they're called King's Counsel. So it's somebody with a lot of experience and they could train you. Yeah. And so that was my first introduction to sort of that. And then yeah, and then I did a lot of research on, people, immigrants coming into the country. And yeah, I've had a really interesting background with law. And um yeah, it's quite interesting, all
Now
the different ways.
here's a good question I have, and maybe you could answer this. So in the UK, right? And
Yeah.
then the UK also has, I'll give you an example. Let's use Puerto Rico as an example. Puerto
Okay.
Rico is not a state, but it's a possession of the United States. But yet
Hmm.
so like, I'll give you a good one. Like the UK, you guys at one time had the Falkland Islands at one time. Am
Okay.
I correct? The Falkland Islands. Now, in the Falkland Islands, they had to go by British law. Well, like say,
Right.
let's talk Hong Kong. Let's talk Hong Kong. So Britain had control of Hong Kong before it gave it over to China. So the
Yeah.
laws were British. In other words, like in Hong Kong at that time. So if you committed a crime in Hong Kong or the Falkland Islands, basically the laws were, yet they went by the UK laws. Is that how it works? If it's a possession?
Oh, well, I don't know. I don't know. I know that
I don't want to
like
confuse
something.
you. I
Yeah,
just
I think what I think a lot of countries went independent from England, right? And Canada
right.
went independent in was it 1967? Don't I
Well,
don't
we could
really know
always
my
Google that. We
date.
could find out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's I think it was
It's in the 60s. That's when they gave it up.
1967
Yeah.
it got their independence. So all the laws were Canadian laws, but you still have what's called like the type of law that we do.
1967, Mel Stiller, who's from Canada, she just said it.
Well, there you go, Mel. Yay, I got it
Thank
right.
you, Mel. Thank you for that.
1967. I remember the prime minister came to our city in 1967, and I was a little girl then, and he came off a helicopter, and I got my picture of him saying hi to me off the helicopter. And that was put in the newspaper. I don't know whatever happened to that, but that was kind of interesting. But yeah, so we went independent, but we still do the same type of law. It's like, um, you know,
Right.
imperial law. So, we still do, we look at, so we laws are made by different ways, right? If you think about it, and that's what my channel is trying to be about, is trying to teach everybody about the process of law. And I found very quickly that nobody was interested in the UK cases, and I only got people watching if it was something in the news, right? Like,
Right. Right.
popular. So that's why I thought, well, if I use a popular case that's already being showed and then try to link it to something that might be interesting, that's the way I can hopefully help people to either understand it or have a conversation about it, right? Because there's
Sure.
so many
Sure.
things. Yeah. I don't want to hog the conversation.
No, 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 Karen. Uh,
God, this is so
it's
much better than
the
StreamYard,
conversation
the
is,
clarity.
oh, the clarity. Yeah. Well,
Oh,
because you're
no.
on my Wi-Fi too. It has a lot to do with it.
Yeah, but
We're
there's
on my,
no delays.
no, it's very, it's very quick. It's very fast,
Yeah.
which is
Yeah.
good. So I'll just say this, if anyone in the chat, all 30 friends of mine that are in the chat, if anyone has any questions for Karen about her channel or anything that I missed, please make the comment. Put hashtag
Yeah.
Karen in and Karen will answer your question.
Yeah.
We'll wait for some questions.
Yeah,
Definitely.
so, and then I got a job with the Canadian government when, Ontario was looking into putting in OHIP. It's Ontario, Health Insurance Plan.
Right.
So I was hired to do some research, and I was really, really young, and it was a voluntary job, like a volunteer job, but I got to work with a lot of different people, and I got to meet, the prime minister at the time,
Oh, wow.
um, and I was trying to think of his name. Um, but, like, when
Oh,
I had a baby, I got a letter from the House of Commons and stuff. So, by working with I was a young conservative, right? So, by working with, our city
you mean
government.
wait, hold on, I think I know you mean Blair? Was that the,
No, no, I'm talking Canada.
oh, Canada, I always thought you meant the UK.
I'm
Alright.
I'm trying to think of his name. He's really tall.
Blair is the last name.
It was
That was
before
during the
Clark.
Reagan that was the Ronald Reagan era. That was, you're
Yeah,
talking
but it
about.
was the guy
Dave and
before
Banger, good to
Clark,
see you.
if anybody remembers the names. But, anyway, um, long story short, my uncle was the mayor of the city, and, prior to that, he was an alderman, and I was quite good friends with the mayor of the city at that time that I joined the Conservatives. And so I got to do a lot of really cool things, and the government was always trying to help the people. They, definitely were, um, it was like trying to find out what people wanted, and then how can we implement that? How can we, you know,
Right,
do something? And so that was a really interesting introduction. And if you've never worked in politics, I think it's really worth, you know, volunteering and helping out, because it's
well,
on
that's
the
the
ground
best way to
meeting
start
people.
is to volunteer. Because you get a good background before of
Yeah,
course, your education does matter, absolutely, but it's also, when you volunteer and you give your time, you get to experience, from the
yeah,
professionals themselves, how it goes.
yeah, yeah. So in Canada, if you want to work for the government, you have to have a degree. They won't hire you. So that's why, after I decided, I wanted to work in law, and I wanted to work in, I was, a notary republic for a while.
Notary?
And
Yeah,
yeah, but in England, this is interesting. It's a separate degree, so they
right,
wouldn't take my qualifications for that. But it is quite interesting, the different, there's so many different areas of law that you can work in. And so, I worked as a correctional services, like I worked for Correctional Services Canada,
right.
and I was a parole officer. So lots of different.
Was that your first job out of school?
No, I did that while I was in school, while
Oh,
I
in
was
school,
at
okay.
at university. Yeah, I
How
was
did you
there for.
find that? That's an interesting job as a parole officer. So, like,
Yeah,
people would get paroled and then you would,
yeah.
make visits? You'd just visit them
Well,
and
there's it's so, when you're watching a trial and they say, "Well, we're waiting you know, um, for a sentencing report," right?
right,
So, I would be asked to do a sentencing report, a pre-sentencing report.
yeah.
That's when the person is getting sentenced. Okay, so they
Right,
haven't been
right, right.
sentenced yet. And that's like what I think, what's the next one coming up? Sarah Boone, I think, is tomorrow or Monday, right? Like on the
Right.
2nd.
Yes, I believe so,
So
Sarah Moon, yeah.
they would have wanted a sentencing report. And I think somebody like Lori Vallow, she didn't partake in it, did she?
No,
So it helps the court to look at what the sentencing, and we try, like in Canada, what we try to do is say, well, if they're in for, we think they need, like, these are the issues that we think are important for the court to consider. And let's say if they got a 2-year sentence, because for parole it has to be 2 years or more. If it's
yes,
under 2 years, it's like probation, right? So it's a
right,
different thing. So we would say things like, if they're going to be in for 5 years, this is what we could probably accomplish in the 5 years, and these are the needs, and what, you know, Canada has a really good reform system. So,
right.
yeah, so that
Interesting.
that was that. Yeah, and then when I came to England right after that. So my 4 years had just ended with uh with Canada. So they sent me a really glowing letter, and that's how I got my job in England to work for the county solicitor. So,
Wow.
that was, and then and then you just get old and as you know.
No, it takes let me tell you, my hat goes off to a lot of these attorneys because it's not easy. It's not easy, because you're dealing with, if you're a defense lawyer, you're dealing with, depending on the type of crimes, some of these horrific crimes, like we talk about the Mendez brothers who killed both parents. Now that
I
wanna,
know.
they
Yeah,
have these new, new information that's coming out. There's a new district attorney in Los Angeles, that wants to,
put
listen
them
to
in.
their new information that's coming out.
Yeah, yeah,
Everybody has an opinion. Some people say, that they had a Netflix documentary, which I didn't see yet,
no, I
but
didn't see it either.
no, I have to watch it. I have to see it. And, at the end of the day, I feel like, they still killed their parents. I mean, they
Um,
still murdered both of their
I
parents.
think I think when you work
Why
in
didn't
law,
they
you have to
just,
take.
if they, all this abuse was going on, Karen, how
Yeah,
come they didn't try to reach out to a different, of a family member, or, the
but that's not
police,
the way
or
control works, is it? Like, control doesn't work that way, does it? I mean, all of
well,
that.
they weren't
So,
locked up. Yeah.
we don't wanna get your channel demonetized for this
No,
s
no, no, no,
or
no, no, I'm just saying,
whatever.
no, it's okay.
Um, it's like the thing is, what you have to do when you're working in law, you kind of take you've got morals, right? And
Right, right.
we're both Catholic, so, I mean, where do you learn a lot of wrong and right is it
Oh, from
obviously, you know,
exactly, from our faith.
from our
Exactly.
faith, right?
Right,
So,
so
if
you
you
talk
don't have a
about the 10
faith.
commandments you talk about, which is in both
Oh, we go.
Judaism and Christianity.
And I mean,
Good
every religion has their everybody knows what's right and wrong. And if you don't know what's right and wrong, and there's where the law comes in, we have you stay on the right side of the law. If you don't, then you have to pay the price, right?
right.
So, do we want a system that is restorative, right? So that
Hello,
people,
Julie.
if they're going to be in prison for 30 years, or do
Right.
you want them in prison, rot in prison? Like, is that like, are there, well, to me, there are crimes so bad that they will be a
And we
danger
know
to
because
society.
of true crime, that the true crime that you have covered on a comparative law expertise, and then we follow Duty Ron and many others, many of our other friends that
Oh, yeah,
do true crime, these horrific crimes that we see, really horrific,
yeah, and
and you
everybody
say,
has that,
yeah,
yeah, everybody
the
has that
private,
different
right. What I love
that
about being in
different
America is that you're innocent until proven guilty. You
yeah,
understand, as much as how heinous a crime could be, because guess what? It may be a situation that that particular individual that was indicted is not the criminal, and there are
yeah,
plenty of people in prison today that are innocent. Believe it or not, that's why there's the Innocent Project
yeah,
out there.
yeah, yeah, and you get the presumption of innocence. You're not innocent, and even if, and this is what I'm trying to not teach critical thinking, but explore critical thinking. So I put out stuff there. So I'm hoping to get people to come back and say something, like get them to energize themselves that they want to say something so bad that they stick their finger on that keypad and write something, right? Because that's
Right,
how
right.
we learn. We learn from what other people think, because our justice system should suit all of us. But I find that we have, and unless you're in the justice system, you don't know how horrible it is until you've been charged,
Right.
right? So you
Sure.
might say, oh, that person's guilty, but the system is made to look like they're guilty, right?
You know
Because,
what it is? Human nature is all, we're humans, right? You know,
yeah,
we look at something, we hear something, whether it's from the media, we hear it, or just basically, on social media. And a lot of times we prejudge a case before it's even heard. And I think
yeah,
sometimes, you know, we shouldn't do that, because we don't know the circumstances in a lot of these cases, right? Until the information does come out. Am I warm enough, Cheryl? It's good. No, actually, I'm
yeah,
not. But it's
put
all
your
right. Hold
hand
on.
back in there, because look at
Yeah,
how
no, I'm
cool it
gonna
looked on
hold on. I'm gonna go.
the screen.
I'm gonna sit right here for a minute. I'm gonna
It
sit
looked
right
so
here.
cool.
I could hear you, Karen. I just can't read the
Yeah,
comments. Oh, that
yeah.
feels good. That feels good.
Yeah. Well, the comments are on the screen now, but if you're not by the thing. So, I mean, that's the thing. So we have to look at it from, and I look at it from the point of view, if you were the one that needs someone to help you, right? And you're saying that you want that
I
I
know,
don't
Doc
really
Willow, I need
care.
one.
Like, I don't really ask people if they're guilty or not
HC
guilty,
teacher,
or if they're,
happy Thanksgiving. First of all, I just want to say one thing. For everybody coming in right now, all 34 people, I want to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving from me and my wife, Kathy. We love you all. We appreciate you all. Even my, Canadian friends and people that are from Europe and everything. I'm always thinking good thoughts for you, and I'm praying for you guys. I'm praying for our good friend Duty Ron, and I'm praying for Jeep Girl too, and I'm praying for each and every one of you and your families too. I just want to let you guys know that. And
yeah.
Fafo Sanders, thank you for coming in, brother. Okay, so I just want to say one thing before I continue with Legal Minded Friends. Karen Cole, she's got a great YouTube channel. If you're not already subscribed to her, I'm going to link it into my description, her channel, which I haven't done. I didn't put the link in her channel, but I'm going to do that after this. Okay, so yeah, subscribe. I guarantee you, you will love her channel. She does great informational videos on the law and do a comparative between the UK, the United States. She does that, and she does a great job of it. So go ahead, Karen, go.
Oh, thanks, Joey. That's really kind of you.
You're
And
welcome.
yeah, so yeah, the whole idea is to just because one of my jobs when I was in England, work I'm still in England, before I became a pensioner, was
Yeah, a pensioner. I
to
love it.
I know it says job title. per- anyway, no, I couldn't stop laughing. Um, so I work for youth offending as well as their information officer. So that's basically interpreting the laws, making sure we're capturing all the information that the government wants so that we can keep our funding, and how we implement our services. A part of a group that I was a part of that was nationwide, right? So
Right,
all of
right,
England and Wales, was to build confidence in the justice system. And so when I realized that I couldn't do 1 minute legal videos, right? I thought, well, maybe I should do it something where people can understand the law so that they have
right,
more confidence in the law. So maybe I can, use some of my knowledge to say, okay, well, if you understood it this way, would you feel differently about it? And I'm really, like, I really think, for example, like jury trials, right? A lot of that is emotional,
right,
and people look at the facts and everything, but you really should be looking at it with a fine tooth comb. Has the prosecutor proved their case? Yeah.
yes,
And what you're saying by saying not guilty is you're saying that the prosecutor just didn't prove the case. It doesn't technically mean they're not guilty. And in
right,
some ways, maybe they should take not guilty off there and say not proven, because that's what they I think that's what they do in Scotland. They say
right.
not proven. And then if
Not
you want
proven.
not guilty, so you really think they're not guilty, you put not guilty. And I remember the attorneys in the Alec Murdoch case made that argument, and I thought that's so then I made a video about that because I thought, that's a really good argument to make, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, so we got loads of people. Hi, Erica. We got HC teacher. I'm reading it from my TV screen. I can't actually see it from my phone screen.
Yeah, we have great friends in the house here. Great friends. Beautiful loser, thank you for coming in. Who else we got here? If anyone is new to my live stream, uh, I'd love to say hello to you. Just say hello back, and I will introduce you to a great community here on the Joeybklyn channel. I'd love to bring you a part of my community over here. If you like what you're hearing and you like what you're seeing, hit the notification bell, subscribe, and a lot of great things are coming along the way over here. Every week, I'm going to do a fireside chat. We're going to have new guests, new content creators. I'm going to invite all my different friends who do amazing content here on YouTube. So there's going to be somebody new. each week. And then starting tomorrow, I'm gonna be in Dyker Heights. We're gonna do Dyker Heights Christmas lights. I'm gonna go live from my old stomping grounds of Brooklyn, New York. We're gonna do multiple days. We're gonna do of Dyker Heights to show you all the Christmas lights. I know everybody appreciates it and loves it. It's gonna be
Yeah.
really great, and you'll enjoy that. So make sure you subscribe, hit the notification bell, and when I go live, you will get the notification. You come in and you could just sit back, nice and toasty and warm, on your phone or on you guys could enjoy it. All right, Karen, go ahead.
Um, yeah, so I'm gonna be on Trial TV Live, on the 18th of December to chat, and I'll put my face on, put my makeup on, and, you know, show my face because 'cause they're all saying, "Oh, I hope you're gonna show your face." And, it's interesting because I'm not as nervous if I don't have to show my face because it's, like, really weird to just be looking at yourself
Well,
talking.
you don't have to,
Um,
like I told you don't have to show your face. I mean, that's
yeah,
not.
yeah.
It's your
So
voice is what counts. You know.
yeah, and so I think it's just getting used to that kind of way of talking to the computer
Yeah,
and
hold on. Let me get
realizing
this
that
quiet.
your fire looks amazing, and I think it looks cool on the split screen.
Let me just fix the. There we go.
Yeah, Christmas is gonna be excellent. So the other thing I think I want my channel to do, oh, there's Gadsden Freedom Outdoors. Um, I think
Yes, Dennis.
if I I think what
Dennis,
we're
I'm gonna have
losing.
Dennis live with me one day this
Yeah,
month.
I've had Dennis on a few times. We've done a
Of
few
course.
lives together. Yeah, we did a good Halloween one as well. Um,
Yeah, I remember.
yeah, and
I
Duty
remember.
Ron.
Yeah, that was last year. I was on your channel last year.
Yeah, we did one. Remember when I got my 1,000 subscribers, you came on and Duty
Yeah, it was a lot of
Ron.
fun. It was a lot of
So
fun.
that's in my see with YouTube, you've got different playlists, right? And you've got a live playlist, so you have to go over there to look for it. So
Yes.
yeah, so I think and what I like about what Duty Ron provides, right?
We're talking
Is
about Brother
that
Ron. Yeah, go ahead.
brother Ron is that from a police perspective,
Yes.
it's really important because I got to a lot closer to how police work when I worked with youth offending because we had a lot
Right.
of police officers working with us. So, and what I call boots on the ground, right? People in the front lines, what they have, like nurses, doctors, police, ambulance, fire. Oh, that's another job I did for the fire and rescue. I did 1 year of working for fire and rescue in I was an arson analyst.
Right.
And so what so our criminal system is made up out of a lot of things, right? And
Right.
there's a lot of contribution into making our streets safe. And those people on the front line are you know they burn out, right? If you can imagine what they see every single day.
Thank you,
And I
Dave,
think,
for subscribing to Karen. Thank you.
oh, thanks, Dave. And um, so I always think, we want to respect. If we could show respect for the blue line or for justice, then it's like if you respect something, but you want it to change, then there's ways to go about it, right?
Yes, I agree.
So, so it's trying to understand different things. Like when I was watching, I don't know if anybody watched the Karen Reed, um, the motion hearing that was just on. Well, everybody's have all this hopes for this new special prosecutor, right?
Right.
And when I was listening to some of his motions, I'm going, oh my God. Like I was a bit disappointed. Look, I can see where he's going with some stuff, but I was just disappointed because I thought, well, he's going to lose that. He's going to lose that. But what he's doing, and there's a way to play the game, and I don't know if I think that's the right way to do law. Is it's like a game, right?
Hi, Sean
And
B.
and theatrics in court and stuff like that. I don't really believe that, and in England, we don't do that, right? We have to keep a straight face, and we don't show emotion.
Right.
So there's a big difference right there, you know? Um,
Yeah, I agree. That's gonna be interesting. That's an interesting case too, that the one you just
yeah,
mentioned.
yeah. So so we don't have that theatrics that they have in America. We didn't have it in Canada either, it's not really it's like it's more serious. I don't know how to say it. It's
Yeah.
more serious.
I actually can't wait for the, Rex Human case to come up. I can't wait for that. That's gonna be really interesting.
That's gonna be that you went out there, didn't you?
The Gilgo Beach,
You went out
case.
there, didn't you? With
Yeah,
Duty
I was
Ron.
out. Yeah,
Oh,
well, brother Ron said to me, "Do me a favor, could you go live over by the house? You're not too far away." For
yeah.
me, it's a little bit more tricky because it's a little further than I wanna be. I said, "Yeah,
How far
no
is it?
problem." No,
Is it
I went live over there. It was great. It was something
Oh,
interesting that I did.
you actually went live on your own as well, didn't you? And showed them when they went back to the house a second time, didn't they? And they were taking boxes?
Yeah, they were
Yeah.
taking from what I seen through the video, you could see boxes, but you know what? When they seen that I had the camera in my hand, okay,
They
automatically they pushed their vehicle,
Oh,
so
yes,
that
yes,
I
yes.
couldn't right, they try to hide
Yeah,
they
yeah,
didn't want me to film that, but they didn't say nothing. It was my legal right to film in public, as long as
yeah.
I respect the line, because
That is so
if
cool.
you watch that video, I was going towards the house, and I was
Yeah,
stopped by, uh Suffolk County Police Department. I was stopped. It was Nassau or Suffolk, I forgot which police department, but I was stopped. They said, "No, no, no, you could stay behind this line over here." I said, "Okay, no problem."
yeah, yeah.
Now, was it Matty Boy Sully's in the house? Good to see you. Mary Flynn is in the house. A lot of our
Mhm.
friends are popping in right now.
There
Trials are
is.
not on
What?
TV in Canada. Mel Stiller.
No. No, they're
Yeah,
not.
yeah,
And it's
only
the
in
same.
America.
And, in Canada, it's very, very much like the English system from that point of view,
That's right,
right?
Tracy. Yeah.
You wear the robes and stuff, and it was interesting because what trial was I watching in America? Was it and the judge didn't wear a robe. Was that the Melanie Ferris case? Or anyway, it was a case that I was just watching, and the judge didn't have a
Well,
robe
all the
on.
judges wear robes.
Yeah, but it was
They
in
wear the
this
black
trial,
robe.
the
They wear.
judge didn't. I'm trying to think of the name. Was it Melanie
Really?
Fer Yeah, and the judge didn't wear a robe.
Does
I
anyone in
know
the
from
chat heard of this before, where a United
Yeah,
States judge don't wear a robe, or if you've seen it?
yeah,
Tell us in the chat if you've seen it.
yeah, not Melanie. Lexi was
I'm
what Melanie. So what was the case after, um, Melanie Ferris then? And anyway, I thought it was a Georgia case as well, but anyway, I looked it up and they said the
Lake and
judge
Riley.
has Lincoln
It was a
Riley.
Lake and Riley case. Surprised.
No, I don't think it
Oh, he
was
wore
that.
a suit. The judge wore a suit. Mel Stiller says. Um,
Which one?
it was
In the
Brian Camp.
Lincoln
Was it
Oh,
Brian
see,
Camp?
everybody's saying it was in the
It
Lincoln
was a
Riley.
male judge. Fuzzy Doxy just said
Yeah,
it was a male judge. It did happen. Now you got me curious. I mean, I can't
yeah,
search for it
that was
now, but once I get off of here, I will look for that. No rope.
yeah, yeah. So, actually, in my deja vu video,
Oh,
it
Tracy,
it
says Lake and Riley. It could
yeah,
be.
so in my deja vu video, I play some of that Lincoln Riley trial with some of Judy Ron and Ed Wallace's comments, and
Oh, that is great.
yeah, it must have been the Lincoln. And anyway, I only realized when I was making that video, the judge isn't wearing a robe. And so
Wow.
I looked it up after I'd finished the video, and yeah, it said that they don't have to. They can choose to. And whereas in England, the robe represents, and I did another video on the robe and what it represents in a Karen Reed video that I did on is the judge biased? And um, I look, because the robe actually cloaks you, like it makes you, it's
Okay, Lou
about
G
just,
just said it. Lou G, there was no jury, so the judge was in a suit instead of a robe, which he's allowed to do. Okay, there you go.
there
Brother
you
Ron,
go.
He didn't wear the robe because it was
Lucy.
a judge trial. Brother Ron is saying they aren't required,
Yeah.
during the
Hey there,
jury by the
brother
judge
Ron.
trial. Okay, Brother Ron, now I got
He
it.
didn't wear a robe
So it was the
because
Lake and Riley, case.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, there you go. Yeah. Hey, Duty Ron. I can go off if Duty Ron wants to come on. But, yeah, so I thought that was interesting, but that makes sense, right? That there wasn't a jury. Now, in the, Melody Ferris case, she didn't stand up when the jury walked in, and I thought that was weird, but I
Right.
think it was one of the news channels or whatever that said they did ask, and they said it was because her, attorneys told her that the, jury is a jury of her peers and
I
they are
got you, Ron.
equal.
He would have been wearing a, if it was a jury trial, then he would have had to wear a robe. Gotcha.
Right, there you go. See, so we
So
learn
look,
something
you
every
learn
day.
something new. Even Ron is still teaching me, uh,
Yeah,
on his, expertise here. Thank you, Brother Ron.
but every time I make a video, Joey, I'm looking at and I'm sure you're the same when you're doing your walks and you notice something different, don't you?
Yes,
You
all the
see
time.
things from a different angle when you're
You learn something new
creating
all
it,
the time.
you know? And
Especially, on Duty Run's channel, I learned because, it's so extensive, that channel. I learned because of, the expertise that, all the invited guests that it comes onto his channel. So I really get to learn a lot about a lot of different things, whether it's about the law or it's about investigations or it's about for especially forensics, because we're so lucky and fortunate to have Ed Wallace as his sidekick on Duty Run's channel.
oh, yeah, and it's that's the thing, you see, if I have questions, then I would think those are the questions that you want that other people would want answering, right? So if it's a judge or if it's a jury making a decision, then when you're a lawyer, you're trying to think what needs answering to sway something to my side, right? Like if you
Right.
knew this bit of information, would that change your opinion on the case? And so,
Ah, yes,
they don't.
that's a great point, Karen. The more you hear from different perspectives, the more you start thinking about, gee, you become a juror,
Yeah,
yourself. Your
yeah,
opinion sometimes does change during the course of a trial,
yeah.
based upon the expertise of, someone like Didiron and Ed Wallace and his guests that come on. There was times that I changed my mind with certain cases.
Yeah. And like Duty Bronze just said, the firearm expert we had on with Richard Allen trial was amazing.
Oh, he was. That guy
And
was.
do you
Oh, yeah.
remember when Ed I think Ed made a perfect a statement there. He said, I think Lauren um asked a question, is this better or something? Is the evidence better or something? And he said it is it like comparing apples with apples, something like that. And he said or apples with oranges. He says it's like comparing apples, but with better apples.
Right.
And you went apple picking there too. So there
Yeah, and I
we
went out,
tried all
no
the
pun
apples.
intended, apple picking.
No,
Yeah.
yeah. So um, so yeah, so and that's what you want, right? They say don't ask a question you don't know the answer to, and
Right.
that is when you're like so. If if I've been asking questions, right? So if I'm doing direct or I'm doing cross, we plan out our questions, like, beforehand, right? So we kind of have what we wanna do. The problem is if you're on cross, and so let's say the other party has done their like, they've been questioning, let's say. We have to tweak our questions, and it's like when you're a creator and you see, "Oh, I can see that mistake, I can see it where they've clipped that part," right?
Right.
And when you and
Sure.
I'm sure police can see that too. They know where they've taken shortcuts and they know. So I can see, whoa, they forgot to adjust the questions they want to ask, right? Because something has already been brought out in direct or it changed something that was already brought out. So you're kind of always on your feet, right?
Yeah.
No, what's Duty Ron saying there? Yes, he certainly was Duty Ron. Can you see it? I
Okay,
can
I'm
see
back.
it.
I can read the questions now.
Yeah, duty wrong, can you get vitamins or anything that helps?
Vitamins or anything that helps. Mary Flynn,
Oh, yeah, a tired yeah.
I hope and pray that you're doing better every day. Yeah, brother Ron, we are all of us are prayer warriors, and on my channel and your channel, and we're praying for you. We're praying for our good friend Jeep Girl. Shout out to Jeep Girl. We're praying for her and everybody that's going through something right now. We're praying for them. Just so you know.
The thing is, when anything comes up in your life and, um, Duty Ron's such a strong person and gives out so much of himself, okay? So when you're that type of person, when
Yeah.
something happens to you, you don't want to, like, make a bother of it, if
Uh,
that makes sense, you know?
you know, Karen, I'll yeah, it does make sense, and I'll give you an example. Right, I've been through a lot of things in my own life.
Yeah,
Maybe not so much health, but people that I care and really love. Right,
yeah,
and I say to myself, "Wow, I can't," and or if I'm afflicted with something, whether it could be, a family situation, it could be, something that I'm going through my own self, right? I always have the
yeah,
answers to help my friends, to help other family members. I have the answer, I have the knowledge and the wisdom to, help them. And that's part of my gift that I have, right? When it comes to helping myself, sometimes I don't have the answers. You know that?
yeah,
When I'm trying to help my own self, I don't have the answers. And a lot of times, I'll call Duty Ron and, I'll say, Ron, what do you think in this situation?
yeah, yeah,
We help each other. That's what good friends are. People, that's why I call him brother, because brother doesn't mean biological. It doesn't have to be, right? It could be, or
yeah,
I call you sister, or I call, Dawn Marie sis, I call it. It's about respect. It's about friendship. It's about relationships. And that's what I want my YouTube channel to be. It's a place where we all get together in harmony with love, peace, and joy, that we could all come together and just have great
yeah,
conversations with each other. And whatever, I do going around, like now I'm gonna do the Dyker Heights. I'm gonna do one, two,
yeah,
about 3 or 4 this is like the hot month for me and for you
yeah,
guys too. So I get to really show the beautiful Christmas lights. I want to bring joy to your hearts. I want to, make everybody feel good about, there's a lot of people that can't get to, let's say, Dyker Heights or in New York or California or Florida or the UK and that's what I love live streaming about, is because we could bring people together, in a nanosecond, right?
yeah.
Because it's live streaming and we
Oh,
can
and when
converse
I
and be with each other.
it's little things like if I see somebody, I think, retired, uh, um, oh, now I've lost my train of thought, but he did one. Remember when there was the, Florida hurricanes and stuff like that?
Yes.
Yeah, and remember when he did live, like, drive down the roads and stuff like that? Do you remember that?
Yes.
Um Well, it reminds me so much of being back home, right? Because we
Right.
lived in Florida. We were like snowbirds from Canada, so we spent a lot of time in Florida ever since I can remember, right?
A
Since
lot
I
of
was
Canadians are snowbirds in Florida, yeah.
probably 10, my grandparents had a home there, so we spent a lot of time. And the thing is, even just if somebody like, and I know this is gonna sound stupid, but even if
Nothing
somebody's just
stupid.
driving down the road and you've got your camera, when my parents are going somewhere, I say, turn the camera around so I can see the road. And it kind of brings back memories, right? So
Sure.
if we live in such an amazing world, we can, like in England, like I would have to have somebody in the car with me because we're not allowed to have our phones on, use our phones
Right.
while we're driving. But just
Oh,
having
here in
that,
America too, you can't drive and speak on the phone, and you have to be hands-free.
yeah. So, as long as, like you say, hands-free but then if you're in an accident and you were live on YouTube, that wouldn't look very good. That would be so anyway, I just think even if it's showing us how you get there, that to me is just as interesting, right?
Right.
And all of the things that like the parks and like the sun going down, like, for me to see the sun I can see the sun rise, but I can't really see the sun down because it goes below houses where I live.
Right.
Um, So just stuff like that, like you say, it brings and Florida Pete with the Florida Ocean and I don't know if
Yeah, you have
it's
the Atlantic Ocean and, yeah, he does great stuff. Well,
yeah,
that's what I love about live streaming is that, you know, what I've learned on Periscope, and Duty Ron could attest to this, we had so many acquaintances all over the world because we were part of a group, content creators on Periscope, people from around the world, and we would, you know, we were a lot more on social media than we're even on today. So in other words, we knew that 4 o'clock Eastern Standard Time in, let's say, Israel, our
yeah.
friend from Israel is gonna go live from the Holy Land. I mean, yeah, and then it could be Italy, it could be Germany, it could be France, it could be,
So wait
you
a
know
minute, was Duty Ron on Periscope?
oh, yes, Duty Run, of course, that's how we
I
started.
didn't know that.
So,
Oh,
yeah, Duty well, I have explained it many times. So, originally, when I started, it was 2015 I started, but I was watching in 2014 in its infancy, live streaming, and then I started watching people like Florida Pete first and David Osaka, and, I was inspired to, go live from their, they used to reach out to me and, "Joe, you live in New York City, you really should go live, blah, blah, blah." And I started doing it slowly, and then I really took really, strong conviction on going live. I loved it. I thought it was very interesting. I was fascinated with, the ability to interact with each and every person through the comments, in live and
well,
real in
that's
real
one thing
time, and
you're
it was great.
yeah,
And
and
then
I know it's
How Duty Ron came to be, he started watching me, and
yeah,
then eventually he started going live,
yeah.
from the back seat of his car. I'll never forget no, back I mean, the front seat of his car
The
with a Dunkin'
vaccine.
Donuts large coffee in his hand because he was doing, private work for
Yeah,
somebody,
yeah,
and,
yeah,
he used to go live, and it used to be, all hours of the night, and we used to watch him, and then we reached out to each other, we met each other in person, we became friends,
yeah.
and the rest is history all these years later.
Well, it's interesting because, if I can get more comfortable with just, like you say, going live, just chatting. I heard this, girl that's a PI in Florida, and, she's new to YouTube, and she was saying, "I just decided I'm gonna do it one night. I woke up middle of the night, just turned on YouTube, and I can't believe how many people wanted to chat." And that we're kind of missing that in our society, like having that time to chat and um it's yeah, it's really hard, to get it. And this is a great way. We've got loads. There's Heather whatever, she's just joined.
Heather
Julia
Heather
the
whatever,
Justice,
welcome in,
Mary
welcome in.
Flynn, Cheryl F. It's like look at all these people. They're chatting,
You know what? These are our friends, Karen.
you
These are
know?
all our friends, right? That are coming in. We get to see them, on Duty Run's channel. I get to see them on your channel. They come on my channel. We're all, cross
Mel
pollination,
still
as Duty Run would say.
yeah. I always where's Mel in Canada? What part of Canada? Um
Mel, yeah. So we'll ask Mel. Mel, what
Ju
part
we
of
we don't have
Canada?
to
I
get
think
too specific, Mel,
no,
but
no, no
just
specific. Yeah, the canals are
I
so
was
wonderful
wondering.
in New York. Yeah, the canals are beautiful. Who wrote that? Oh, HC teacher. The canals are so wonderful to see, and so much transportation every week. Yes, absolutely.
Vancouver Island.
Vancouver Island. She said she's from Vancouver
Oh,
Island.
she's in Vancouver, okay.
What's that? British Columbia, right? That's the West Coast.
So yeah, that's all west. Um, yeah, I
Yeah,
went out
Canada.
west
Canada,
once.
beautiful. Canada is beautiful, especially
Huge.
British Columbia.
It's huge, huge.
Well, it's as wide as the United States.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember, I mean, one of our Great Lakes is as big as England, you know? It's
Right.
when we say I live by a lake, I would say, well, it's kind of like an ocean because you can't actually see across it, right? Like
Right. Yeah.
Karen live here where I live. So yeah, Cheryl F. She's from the UK, right? You're in the UK, so we're
Sure.
not far from each other, I think, in the UK.
Brother Ron, have a great night.
I'm off to bed.
Sleep
Nighty
tight,
night.
and I'll speak to you tomorrow, brother.
Sending you lots of love and thanks for the,
Thanks for popping
I
in, brother Ron.
I
And you
was
got our
stuck with
prayers. We're the prayer warriors here. Michael Carbone, good to see you. Hope everyone had a great Thanksgiving, by the way. Aussie J is in the house. Welcome in.
yeah,
They have summer. Aussie J has got, what is it, summertime yet or very close to summer there? Beautiful summer,
yeah, they're
which
gonna
I would
get
take right now.
gonna have the opposite. There's Aussie. Ha ha. Um, yeah, so that's the other thing. I don't know about you, but when we get really dark here very early. It
Oh,
goes
so do
pitch
we.
dark. Yeah, same. So that was the one thing that I thought I would like. I thought, oh, if I come to England, will we get the 4 seasons? And you do get the 4 seasons. So it's quite similar that way. But I don't know
Yeah, I'll
about
tell you
you,
something.
but
I'm going to tell you a story, yeah, about weather.
yeah,
So last Saturday, my daughter and my son-in-law and my granddaughters went to Aruba on vacation with, all of my son-in-law's family. They went to Aruba.
yeah,
So the funny thing, so I picked them up last night from Aruba. So I was laughing because that they were in shorts, they were in sweatshirts and shorts, and it was 30. It was freezing. It was 0 Celsius. It was freezing at John F. Kennedy International Airport in New
yeah,
York. And I had the heat blasting, and I gotta tell you, it was so cold. "Please, dad, put the heat on. Hurry up, put the heat on."
yeah,
Yeah, because it was freezing. They went from it was 102 degrees
yeah,
the day
yeah,
before. That's
yeah,
like, oh my goodness, what is that? 20 degrees Cel 20 22 degrees
yeah, I think,
Celsius? I mean, it's really, really hot. And so
yeah,
now you fly in 4 hours. It's a 4.5 hour flight from,
yeah,
New York to Aruba. And you
yeah,
just step off the airplane, and it's, like, brutally cold, brutal. But it's so funny,
yeah.
though.
It is.
So then they're
It is.
still, like, shaking from because then their bodies, were
Yeah,
adjusted to, like, hot summer, sticky weather, and now they
yeah,
came over here, and it's freezing.
yeah. I tried that new thing on YouTube where I don't know if you've seen
Yes,
it
has a
yet.
beautiful Aruba. Yeah,
When
absolutely
you
beautiful.
there's this feature on YouTube now where you can say, um, load to load to your subscribers first and then let it go public. So I
Right.
tried that, and, the one I put on is a behind the scenes, but it was when I was in South Africa, and I remember every time you fly to South Africa, like, they get 40, they can go up to 40, okay?
Oh, that's hot.
Um, what's
Yeah,
that
40's
in
hot.
Fahrenheit? I don't know, but I remember you have all your gear for the airport, right? So you have your winter
Right.
coat, your gloves, your boots, everything that you need, and then
You're
you
all
have to
set for the weather, yeah.
you're lugging this every place you go, and it's like as soon as you and I remember once I landed in Miami and I had all my winter stuff, and I couldn't even get off the plane, and I said to my partner, I said to him, "I've gotta go to the bathroom and change into a dress. There's no way
It's
I
too hot.
can even
Yeah.
stay in my jeans," right? I could the weather was so
It
humid
was
and
brutally humid and hot, yeah.
hits you like an oven, doesn't it? It's like,
Yeah.
um, yeah,
Speaking
so
about an
that
oven, I wish I was in an oven right now. It's
my
I mean,
hus
I feel the whatever I can feel over
honestly,
here, it's great.
you've warmed up my living room just from having it on. In the winter when I have guests over sometimes or if I'm reading a book, because in this house, we don't have a fireplace. Um,
Right.
in England, what they've started doing, like with new builds, they
Thank you, Dave in
only
Osaka, maybe your ears were ringing, but welcome in, brother. Good to see you.
Hey, David!
Hey, Dave, maybe next week or you could be a guest on my channel. I would love to have you. We could shoot the breeze. We could talk about your channel. We could talk about. I would love to do it every week, guys. What I'm gonna do is invite another friend who is a content creator onto my Fire Live, and that would be really interesting because you get to meet them in person, right? We could have a great conversation with them, and I will After I go through all my content creator friends, I'm gonna invite you guys, my friends themselves. You know, you guys coming in. If you want to go on, you go Joeybklyn13 at AOL.com. Let me know you want to join me, and we'll make a date out of it, and I'll get you guys on. I would love to have you. Who's that?
Yeah, that'll be
You know,
really
the United
nice.
States is a corporation. If you didn't know, oh, forget that one.
No, don't read that.
Or
Um,
yeah, no, it's
yeah,
stupid.
so when they
Thank
have
you,
this
brother. Thank you.
law in England, when they build new houses,
Yeah,
they have only so many can have a fireplace. I don't know if they've started doing that in America.
right,
So, the house I have doesn't have a fireplace, right?
right,
But, like, in Canada, I came from a house with loads of fireplaces, and so what I do when I'm reading sometimes is I'll just put YouTube, a fire on, like,
right.
they have fires that go for 4 hours, crack like what you're doing, but they leave it up there just running on a loop, yeah?
Oh, yeah, on
And
a
it's
little I could do that too, but there's nothing
yeah.
like a fresh fire right now.
Yeah, but it's so good for somebody like me who, if I have people over or if I'm reading a book, I can just put on YouTube, put that on. There's no sound. You can just hear the crackling of the fire, and it makes me feel like I have a fire. Does that make sense?
Yes, no. No problem, sister, Carol Ann Clark, don't worry. J-Man, hello from Sweden, welcome in.
Hello, Sister Carol Ann Clark.
Sweden,
That's
beautiful Sweden.
that's Judy Ron's auntie. Is it his auntie? Yeah.
No, no, that's not his aunt, no,
Oh, okay. And
no.
look at all the new faces here.
Well, that's it. The algorithm goes out, and, the more you click the thumbs up, the algorithm opens up and invites more and more people to come in and view as new, more viewers come in.
There's Beamer 650. Hello. Dawn Marie. Dawn
Erica, no.
Marie's got some Christmas. You were talking about some desserts the other night, and they made me. I don't know if it was pecan pie or something, and I was like thinking, I've got to have some of that.
Oh, Dormery's pecan pie.
I think that's what she was talking about.
You like
Pecan
that,
pie.
Dave? The vertical? It's like the old days of Periscope when we went vertical.
And
Thank you,
Joey,
Dormery.
I thought you were gonna do a video on your cooking your Thanksgiving dinner.
You know what? Yeah, I could have done that. I just, what it is when you're just busy. Like I had, let's see, we had about altogether we had about, I don't know, 12, 13 people. So when
Wow.
you're entertaining them, I don't want to take pictures and start video and then, I don't want to do that. So it's all right. I'm gonna make it up to you guys. You know why? Because I'm gonna be in Dyker Heights tomorrow. I'm gonna do Dyker Heights Christmas lights. That's
Yeah.
gonna be my first live stream for the year, and then I'm gonna continue on each week. I'm gonna
Yeah.
do different parts of Dyker Heights because it's a very large area in Brooklyn, New York, where they just go ballistic with the beautiful Christmas decorations, Christmas lights, music, fun. It's a very popular place in New York City to go and see. And the great point is that that's my old stomping grounds. That's my old neighborhood, which I love.
Yeah. It'll be really nice. Look at your chat's going by so fast, it's hard to read. Lexi put in there, my chili looked good the other night,
Ah,
especially with
good.
well, I was making chili and I
I'm not teasing Lou G. You're gonna get it. Don't worry. Tomorrow you're gonna get it, guys.
now
The first one. Yeah.
now Joey, when you're making a meal, right?
Right.
Do you
Yeah.
look in your cupboard to see if you have all the ingredients?
It's so funny you say that. No, 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 because, a lot of times, right, we don't
Yeah,
look in the cupboard and we buy it anyway.
exactly.
We waste money and we buy things we really don't need. So just
Yeah,
say if I needed like a cinnamon powder or something for
yeah,
baking. Well, if I
yeah,
look all the way in the cupboard, there is a cinnamon powder, but yet I bought another one. That's I know that's what you mean.
yeah, yeah. So I didn't look in my cupboard, right? And I thought, oh, I'm gonna
That's
make
right, Dave.
chili.
You're right.
I thought, "Oh, I had this great idea to make chili." And then I realized I didn't have any chili powder, and I thought, "Well, can you use paprika?" And I was going through all this, like, "What can I u It's chili, it's gotta have chili, it won't taste like chili without chili powder." So
Dave, it's
anyway
2 degrees Celsius right now, so we're freezing over here.
Heather went other. Chili powder is
Is
infrequent.
infrequent buy, makes sense, not a regular. Yeah, you're right.
Exactly, exactly, because when you're
Exactly.
making a chili, you only put, like, 2 or 3
Oh,
tablespoons
hello,
in,
Shane, welcome in.
so it kinda lasts forever, right? So I'm making this, so I put the paprika, the paprika was hot paprika. Okay, and then I thought, "This is terrible, it doesn't even taste like chili," so I emptied the cupboard and I found an old chili, and I texted Lexi and I said, "Can I what do you think? Is, 2015 too long ago?" Or whatever the date was.
Right, right.
I thought, "Nah, it'll be fine," so I chucked it in there. It was hilarious. Yeah.
So we got 34 friends in the house. We got 46 thumbs up, guys. If you like this type of live streaming, give me a thumbs up. If you
And,
like
you
it
know, it's
and you really
interesting this
like it, make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell, all notifications. This way, when I
yeah,
go live, like tomorrow evening, I'm gonna go
yeah,
live from Dyker Heights Christmas lights. You're gonna love it. It's from a native, I grew up there, so I know every block, every inch of that place, and I will take you to all different parts of Dyker Heights.
yeah. So, okay, so
We're getting through the holidays here.
did
We're
you
gonna get
know
through the
the
holidays.
laws that did you know? So there's a sell by date and there's a use by date. Okay. So laws came out, and I'm sure it's just to protect companies, right?
Yeah.
So I'm always looking up what really goes out of date, right?
Oh, you always have to check the dates on things. You always have to.
Yeah, but Joey, I'm using stuff that's like from what I'm trying to think, do I still have the video? I probably can show it to you, but I'm thinking, do I
Well, let me
have the
ask you,
video?
does sea salt actually go bad? I don't know. Does
Exactly.
does
It
black
never goes
pepper
bad.
go bad? Does yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
pepper. Well, yeah, I think whole grain. Well, I don't know. It's like, you know, um, I think it depending if you keep everything dry. I mean, I'm using icing sugar from probably 2010 still in my cupboard, right? Like, how can sugar go bad? It's
let
like,
me just
okay,
get
so
this
I break the laws all the time. I never read the label.
right.
Um, yeah, so that's hilarious, isn't it? Like, and I just thought, I wonder how many other people do that. Am I the only one? It's like, so do
So
you do that?
anyway, Karen, I wanna thank you so much for
Yeah.
coming on at my channel at a split second notice. You did come on. I asked you, I said, "I know it's late in the UK. You wanna come on? Or you wanna do it another time?" You says, "Definitely coming on," and I
Yeah,
appreciate
well,
it. And
I
I
just
gotta
got
tell you,
yeah,
Karen, yeah, it was great having you. You're my dear friend. I
thank
I
you.
loved I love your success. Thank you for always trying to help me out with my own channel. I appreciate that too. We help each other, and that's a great thing,
Yeah.
right?
Well, there's
And I
just so
wanna
much to learn.
right.
Like when I turned on YouTube on the TV, I thought, I don't even know how to get to videos. It's like,
I know it.
so yeah, there's just so much to learn, and like it's not, and I love the chat. I love being
Oh,
in
the
your
chat
chat,
is great.
Joey. The
So if
chat is
anyone is
great.
not subscribed to Legal Minded Friends, Karen Cole, I'm gonna put her link in my description as soon as I end this live stream. You
Yeah.
could do that. And if one of my moderators, Dawn Marie, if you're there, sis, if you could put Karen Cole's um, link into the channel, I appreciate it. Yeah, there we go. I think it
Ever
went up.
know someone says that it tastes bad? I don't think it's good here. It tastes it. Oh, it
Thank
must
you,
be with
HC
Christmas.
Teacher. Thank you for putting Karen's.
Oh,
Yeah, make
thank
sure you
you,
subscribe to Karen Cole. She's got great
HC
content,
teacher. Thank you.
great information, and we appreciate you. But I want to thank all my moderators, HC Teacher, Dormery, Duty Ron. Who
All
else is
great.
here? Of course, you too, Karen. You're my moderator too. Thank you
I
so
just
much.
made a best mod little emoji, so I'm gonna send you one over too in your colors. I'm gonna do that.
Okay.
Um, but yeah, so I should be on
Yeah, when's your
Trial
next
TV.
yeah, your next
Yeah,
live or next video?
Trial TV live on, I believe it's the 18th of December. And yeah, probably
Oh, we'll be
very
looking
similar
forward to
to
that.
what we're talking about. They kind of compete with just showing trials on TV, okay? So, and they're based in Florida, so they went to the Sarah Boone trial, and we're filming right
You're
in
welcome,
there.
Cheryl.
So, you know, um, so when I put up the little short of Sarah Boone winking, right, doing a wink, it was because somebody was in the courtroom saying, "Oh, we think that's Sarah Boone's girlfriend."
Right,
Um,
right.
so I thought that was interesting, so it's nice to have somebody inside the court actually
Thank you,
filming it,
J-Man. Yeah, thank you,
Yeah, so
everybody.
wow, look at all the people. It's like, yeah, so that's the idea there is to, I guess, because I've been using some of his clips as well, because I like to promote channels as well, like,
Of course.
I think we're all great creators, and if you can find something either from a different perspective than the way I
You're
take
welcome, chef
something,
lady. Yeah,
that's what the law is all about. We all look at things
absolutely.
differently, you
Yep,
know?
100%.
Wow, okay, I know you said you wanted an hour, and you see, I've
Yeah, we are
over.
at 1 hour and 25 minutes, and, I mean, I would stay on for 3 hours if I
Yeah,
was in I was in a bubble of heat right now, but
yeah, but you see, but
I'm
Joey's paying me
freezing,
by
yeah.
the hour. Joey's paying me by the hour, guys, so, like, I'm trying to
Yes, yeah.
keep it
Yeah, I'm gonna
going here.
So you want it in British pounds or you want it in American dollars? Tell me. What do you want? Or you want it in yen? Dave,
I've
send
done
me some Japanese
Joey,
yen
I'm
so I could send it to
serious.
Karen. Joking,
I've
no.
done reviews on what, solicitors have charged, and, like, charging fees, and I've seen they say, "Call me," and then they talk about the weather, they talk about everything, and then they say, "Okay," and then you're paying for that 15 minutes of whatever, you know? So, I always
Yeah,
think
you
when
know
I
how we
talk
pay
to
each
my
other?
clients.
We pay each
Yeah,
other with love and community. That's how we pay each other.
absolutely,
So I
absolutely.
love you, Karen. I love all
I don't know if I
my
can do this.
moderators that are best. Of course,
Let's
there's
see if I
a lot of them are Duty Ron's moderators, which is our
oh,
moderators too, and, you guys are
there.
amazing. So I'm
There you
not
go.
gonna mention all of you guys right now by name because I don't wanna miss one person, but I love
Joey,
each and every one of you. You guys are fantastic, and I'll see you tomorrow night at Dagger Heights
Joey,
Christmas lights. Yeah,
Joey, practice. There's a love heart. Can you see it?
I could see it. Yes.
Okay, try that in
Yes,
front of the
absolutely.
fire. Did you guys get to see it? I don't know. I don't know. I can't see it. Did you do a love heart with your shadows?
Oh, yeah. Here's my love heart here.
I can't
Well, it's
see
hard
it.
to do it,
Oh, there.
but
Oh,
yeah, here
there.
we go. Okay. Whatever, I'm not listen. Yeah, here's my love to everybody. Alright, guys. Thank
Okay.
you for popping in, Karen. I'll see you, soon. Thanks
Yeah.
again. Thank you, everybody. I'll see you tomorrow. Make sure you hit the notification
Little
bells
pat patty.
and
Good night,
subscribe because
Donna
tomorrow I'll be
Marie. Good
going
night,
live from that
Mel. Good
guy's
night.
Christmas. Like, yes. Say good
Good
night to
night,
everybody.
Lexi. Good night, Heather. LUG. Night.
All right, Karen. Thank you. Good night,
Thank
everyone.
you. Okay.
Ciao for
Bye-bye.
now. Bye bye.
Bye-bye.